Alright, what is up YouTube? It is K-Rod here. I'm back with another good video for today. Today we're going to be covering on Teofimo Lopez, or I should just call him Teofimo Lopez, stating that he had recently caught COVID-19, aka coronavirus. As of recently, this is what I've heard, and I'll probably say allegedly because I don't know if he actually has COVID. I think it's probably bullshit, but I'm going to dig into that. Teofimo Lopez, aka The Takeover, he pretty much basically had a fight coming up with George Kambosos Jr., the current mandatory challenger for his IBF belt, if not for all the belts that Teofimo has. So, Teofimo Lopez was set to face off George Kambosos in a heated matchup up on Triller Fight Club, which, you know, it was going to be a pretty good loaded card. I was actually happy to see my favorite woman in the world, Franchon Cruz, going for undisputed with the most beautiful woman, Eline Cederroos. She's a Swedish pro boxer who had recently, or she had defeated Alicia Napoleon, I believe, for the WB. I forgot. I think the WBO. Like, I know she had. I want to say it was for the WBA, but it doesn't really matter. Basically, it's for undisputed. Both women were going to unify anyway, so, you know, the super middleweight division was going to be rebranded with a undisputed female queen. And I think it makes all the sense in the world. And it was good that both ladies wanted to get that fight going. But unfortunately, that Teofimo Lopez, the aka the Fakeover, he does not want to keep his end of the bargain. And I think, honestly, it was just purely disrespectful on his own end to try to make it seem like that he wanted to have this fight done. But now it's like, you know, the week of fight week, and me covering this video and having this posted on my channel, you would understand that the pure corruption in this sport is just simply fighters pulling out of fights. And I think, honestly, when a fighter does that, you need to be penalized heavy. You should not only, you know, lose your ranking in boxing, but on top of that, you should lose notoriety. You should not be looked at for any other future big fights until you know, repay the offer to the previous opponent that you ducked or that you try to pull out of, like, a fight. So I just think, honestly, like, you know, this type of injustice that Teofimo did to George Kambosos is purely evil. It's insane, and I don't understand how anybody could really think like that, to think that it's somehow okay to just come out of your way and do shit like that. I think Teofimo, he's just a bit wild with, like, what he, you know, believes in, but it's just, you know, insanely idiotic to think that Teofimo, he did the right thing in this situation. But it's like, why didn't you put this up at least like a month ago? If you knew that this was going to be an issue, why didn't you say, hey, look, like, you know, if I was in Teofimo's shoes, I would have said before fight month of where my fight day would be, I would tell him, hey, I don't think I'm going to feel good because I got COVID. So maybe if it's possible, could we just push this date back maybe like at least like a month ahead? Because now Teofimo, he has to recover, and if I'm in his position, at least do it like a month out, so that way you could be fully recovered from the virus, in which I'm pretty sure he's not. Like, honestly, you know, I don't even think he has COVID. I think, honestly, there has to be something as far as him preparing for this fight and him not taking this fight as seriously as much as he thinks that, you know, this fight is going to be, you know, just like a walkover or just like a walk in the park. It's not going to be like that. George Kambosos Jr., as much as I don't even follow him, he's a pretty tough fighter. He actually had to go through the mud to get to that point. So I think it makes all the sense in the world of why Teofimo wanted to do this at, or He wanted to pull off this stunt at the last minute, and it shows his pure idiocracy in boxing to not take this sport a little bit more serious on the business aspect of things. So now you're holding back all these other fighters that want to get a good payday, and what the hell are they going to do for the next 2 months? Because now the fight has been switched from June 19th to like August 14th. So now all these fighters have to wait for an extra 2 months, which is absolutely horrible. And it's just, that is purely disrespectful to the fighters that are actually struggling, that need to have like a payday. Which, I mean, maybe those fighters could try to take like an extra fight in just to stay busy, but you wouldn't want to risk it as a fighter because, like, what if you get hurt? Like, what if you get into a situation where somebody breaks your nose in a fight? Even though that you're facing some bum, but still, you're still going to deal with some form of punishment and some form of risk that you're taking in the fight itself. So me personally, I personally wouldn't want to do that because I'm putting myself at risk, and I'm going to be put into a situation where I'm going to possibly get hurt that following month before that fight. And even though that I would take like a fight, I would say short notice, I would say, but even though that I am ready and I have been prepared for that fight week, it's still not, a guarantee that I'm going to come out safe, because even though that I'm getting into a pro fight, with some bum that I don't know, you're still having to wait out for your injuries to heal, and then you could get back into, that main card fight. Which I'm saying is that, that puts a greater risk onto the fighters that are having to wait. Because why would those fighters want to do that when they're going to get paid at least a good chunk of money for that big fight card itself? So now that really screws over a lot of fighters that really want to put themselves out on the spotlight. But I mean, hey, like, whatever those fighters need to do to survive, I don't blame them. I'm just here to just cover what the ramifications are with this decision that Teofimo did, because now George Kambosos had recently come out, and I think in some Twitter post or Instagram post, but he basically said that this is unacceptable. George has been away from his family for like 13 weeks or something. And I mean, it's horrible, man, because, he has, I think, like a baby on the way, but I don't really want to touch too deep into that. No disrespect to George. I like to keep it short and sweet, but I definitely feel him on that, man. Like, I don't want him to be suffering. Like, I'm pretty sure he's busting his ass in Florida. He's having a good time, or he's trying to. He's trying to win this fight for his family and make legacy for his career. And I give him a lot of respect because he's not pulling off no easy way to the chip. He's facing a very dangerous opponent in Teofimo Lopez, but stylistically it seems like George Kambosos has the edge over Teofimo Lopez. And who's to say that Teofimo Lopez is going to beat George Kambosos? This could be the fight where Teofimo could fall. You don't know that. But why didn't Teofimo kept that same energy with Devin Haney? He said, "Oh yeah, Devin Haney, like, me and him will fight." But then years prior to it, when like, let's just say when they were younger and they met each other like at like some random ass fight, but they were talking with Frank or Fred at Barbershop Conversation, and Barbershop Conversation made a damn good point to say, okay, well, how about this? You can start your own promotional company. Devin can start his own promotional company. You guys can fight, and you guys can get it on. So why not do that? And Teo, he pretty much agreed with that statement. But yet, till this day, Teofimo did not want to do that. So who's the one holding up the sport of boxing It's Teofimo Lopez. A real champion does not avoid contemporaries. A real champion sticks to his or her words, and they give you the best, the best of the best fights ever. And I truly believe if I was a world champion in boxing, I'm going to take every tough fight. I don't give a shit. If I lose, so what? I get back up, I beat the crap out of that guy, and I come right back. Because you know what? That guy is not better than me. He just got the best of you of that fight. Yeah, it may be psychologically torn. It may be a fight that you thought, oh yeah, maybe I thought I could do good with this guy, but no, you weren't focused enough to the point where you kind of let this guy get inside your head, and then boom, you got knocked out, or you just lost on points. So no, you should not be thinking like that. You should be thinking more in the long-term effect that it's just a sport, but the sport itself does not leave you. You leave it when you've been psychologically torn from the critics that try to haunt you to make you feel bad that you can't be in the sport because you lost. See, let me just tell you something about me. I used to be a wrestler in high school. I went 27-3. Every time when I lost, I got better. My style got more dangerous, and I started taking people out a lot quicker. See, now in boxing, it's not like that. It's like when you actually lose your first fight, the whole world just signs you off. Really? In the UFC, when Conor McGregor got his ass kicked by Dustin Poirier in the rematch, Conor McGregor was still loved by his fans. And the people that hated him still wanted him back. And now we got Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier 3. There's no contract restrictions. There's no promotional issues. It doesn't matter. They're all fighting under the same fight league. And that's what I think boxing needs. Boxing needs a fair community of people that don't give a crap if you win, lose, or draw. We need that fan base where we just want the best to fight the best every single damn day. I want to see Michaela Mayer in tough fights. I don't want to see her fight some washed up woman by the name of Erica Farias. Not to say I hate Erica Farias. I love Erica Farias. She's an amazing woman and she has great talents, but she's not 31 no more. She's not 25. She's not 22 no more. And I'm not saying that older fighters can't beat the younger fighter. Look up Bernard Hopkins beating the crap out of Kelly Pavlik. But sometimes when styles do make fights, your skills do not match up to the other fighter's skills on that fight. But hey, I could be wrong. Michaela can get knocked out. It's not like she's invincible. So that's the same thing with Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez is not this mega superstar that everyone props him up to be, when he knows that he is not on the level of any superstar that has existed before him. He is nowhere near better than a Roberto Duran next to a Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard would knock out Teofimo Lopez if they were in the same division. Sugar Ray, man, I don't even know where to start. Sugar Ray Leonard would knock him out. Tommy Hearns would knock his ass out. Marvin Hagler would knock his ass out. Like literally, there's so many other guys I can point to that would KO the shit out of Teo. And Teo knows he's not the best until you beat the best. That's when I could put you next to those guys. But Teofimo is not, like, Teofimo is light years away from being at that level. And it seems like, the biggest issue with Teo is that he don't want to fight the best. He just basically made a punk ass, shitty decision and not wanting to have this fight with Kambosos to make up this weird excuse that you have COVID. If you had COVID, why didn't you just do this out? Yeah, why didn't you, dismiss this fight at least like a month prior to the fight month? So if you did it like last month before the start of June, it would have made a lot more sense to push the fight back to maybe, I don't know, July 16th or July 19th. Something like that. I don't fucking know, but Teofimo Lopez, you are the biggest fraud of the lightweight division. At least Devin Haney, he doesn't do shit like that. And when Devin Haney comes out to fight, he comes out to fight. Unless Devin Haney is extremely sick and he needs to call off of the fight so that way he could rest and heal, then yeah, all power to it. But for Teofimo to do this the week of a fight week, you are just literally just digging yourself a hole of failure. I don't even think he's actually sick with COVID. And I kid you not, if he's sick with COVID, you better believe, you best believe he's probably chilling at home, talking with his wife, talking with his father. Yeah, because if Teofimo has COVID, he just can't go outside. He can't do anything. He has to stay inside, right? But did he get vaccinated? Did Teofimo get any treatment prior to this COVID diagnostic being read? You know, like did Teofimo sorry. Did Teofimo ever come to think like, hey, this is a big issue. I need to handle this right away. So why didn't you do this at least a month before this shit even started? If you knew that you weren't feeling good and you weren't, 100% for George Kambosos, why didn't you just talk this out with your team and talk it out with Triller to say, hey, can we like reschedule this because I'm not feeling too good. It makes all the sense, in the world. But I don't know, man. Honestly, I think it's all bullshit. I think Teofimo, he wasn't ready. He wasn't physically ready because, it seemed like he had all that time after the, well, actually, no. Teofimo, he hasn't been fighting. Yeah, he hasn't been fighting for a long time. Yeah, don't forget, Teofimo, he wasn't fighting at all. He only fought like one time, and that was back in 2020. And then fast forward to that was 2020 in October. So December, January, which is 2021, and then February. Hold on, December. October. That's the first month. November, December, January, 21, February, that's 6, March, April, June, June, so that's been 8 months out the ring. This nigga's been out for 8 months since he fought Lomachenko back in October of last year. And now we're heading into we're gonna head into the 9th and 10th month leading into August. So he's gonna be having a 10-month layoff when he fights Kambosos. And Kambosos, he's been putting all that work into the gym. And my final thoughts that I'm gonna point out on this is that Kambosos, he might lose his peak. He might lose that peak of him being ready the week of that fight, and come that fight date, he might not be 100% ready for Teo. So I don't know, we'll see how this plays out. I hope Kambosos beats Teo so that way he can have up the balls to fight Devin Haney, if that's a possibility. I don't think Devin Haney is gonna stay at 140 or he's going to stay at 135 for too much longer. I hope Devin can just move up to 140, conquer that division. Hopefully Teo doesn't cap there. Try to avoid Devin Haney. But I'm pretty sure he will because, he's a scumbag. And like many scumbags, he's going to do some grimy shit. But if so, if Undisputed can be made after this fight, I hope it does. Because, from my past interviews, especially the most recent one that I had with Mr. Abraham El Supernova, I think if Teofimo's words are true with what he said to him, I hope he can hold that end of the bargain and just get the fight over with Devin Haney, because I want to see this fight, man. I don't want to wait until a year or two later to see him and Devin go at it. Because it makes zero effing sense. And it's destroying the sport of boxing. Because if Teofimo's going to keep doing that in every division that he goes to, imagine what Devin Haney's going to keep doing when Teofimo doesn't want to give him, undisputed. Unless he gets knocked out by somebody like, let's say Subriel Matias. Like, Subriel Matias would easily kill him in the ring. But Devin Haney, he's doing what he has to do, and I give him nothing but respect, in the world, and I wish him nothing but the best, because Devin Haney, he's doing everything that he can possible to be great, and Teofimo's not willing to be great, and he's making up more excuses rather than just lace up the gloves, start fighting, and pad up your legacy wins. But he don't want to do that. So yeah, man, that's what I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed that video, or this video. I'll definitely chop it up with you guys in the next one. Please be sure to like, rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Fuck the haters, man. Bye.